Hello friends, welcome to the Google Ads mentorship program. My name is Mihir Shah and I'm going to walk you through the ins and outs of Google Ads. You will learn everything right from the basics to the advanced of Google Ads. You will learn what are keywords and what are bids and all the different strategies that you can use, how to structure an account. You will learn different types of ad formats and how to use them in the best possible way. You will also learn how to optimize your Google Ads campaign so that you never spend more than what is required. So without any further ado, let me start with the Google Ads mentorship program. Now, when we talk about Google Ads, the first thing that we need to learn and understand what is Google and how does Google work. So let me walk you through a story. I hope you find this very interesting. So in a Google ad ecosystem, there are usually three parties involved in every initial and subsequent transaction. The first is a person looking for a product and service. So if you can see on the image on the left, there's someone who's trying to search something on the internet. The second is Google itself, because that is a platform which connects the person looking for a product and service to a person trying to sell a product and service, which is correctly our third person, which is a person trying to sell a product and service. So there are three people involved as discussed. Now let's see how the story moves forward. First, a customer searches something on Google. So if you can see, the person on the left is searching for red Nike shoes as shown in the image on the right. So on her Google account, she tried to look for red Nike shoes. What happened then? What did Google do, which is basically the second party in this transaction, is it took this particular term, red Nike shoe, went across the entire internet, went across all the websites and the Google Ads account of different people and tried to find this particular term and shortlisted whoever must have put this particular term in their account. Now let's see what happens later on. Now it identified one person, which is this person on the left who's trying to sell the same red Nike shoe. What this person has done is she registered herself as a seller on Google. She used the term red Nike shoe, which is also called as a keyword. And I will dig into what a keyword is in detail in a little bit. So she used the term red Nike shoe. And what she told Google is, if somebody's searching for red Nike shoe and my ad shows up, I am willing to pay 50 rupees for every person who clicks on that particular ad. Let me repeat myself, to every person who repeats on that particular ad. So the first person put up a search, clicked enter on their screen, and this particular screen showed up. And the advertiser and the person selling the product and service who said, I'm willing to pay 50 bucks. So this screen popped up for the first person, and whenever this person clicks on any one of these ads, which you must have all seen when you were searching one or the other product or service, if that first person clicks on any of these product and service, the third person, the person selling the product and service, will pay somewhere around 50 bucks to Google. And that is how the entire Google ecosystem works. And that's why Google Ads or Google search is also called as pay per click, so that the person selling their product and service will pay Google a certain amount when the first person who's looking for a product and service clicks on their ad. So let's understand now what is a keyword. If you remember a couple of slides ago, I said the red Nike shoe is a keyword. So what is a keyword? So in our original story, when the term was used red Nike shoe to search for something on the internet, from the point of view, from the perspective of the person trying to purchase a product and service, red Nike shoe is a search term because she was searching for this particular product or service. And for the person who's trying to sell the product and service, which is on the right, red Nike shoe is a keyword, because this is that particular term which will bring the person searching for the product and service to their ad. So henceforth, whenever you hear the term keyword, understand a keyword is something that we use to search day in and day out. If you have made around 10, 15, 20, 50 searches today, whatever you were looking for, whatever product or service that you were looking for, subconsciously in your head, whenever you made that search was a keyword for the other person trying to sell the product or service. So from now on, my friends, throughout this course, we will be using the term keyword because we are trying to learn Google Ads, because we want to sell a product and service on the internet. So keyword would be something that we would want a person trying to purchase our product and service to search on the internet. Now, also a couple of slides before, I mentioned that advertiser was willing to pay 50 bucks when someone clicks on an ad. That 50 bucks is called a bid. Let's understand bid in a little bit more detail. What is a bid? A bid is an amount agreed to pay to Google. So the first thing is agreed to be paid to Google. And who pays this amount? This amount is paid by the advertiser, which is basically a seller. So an advertiser who's also a seller will pay Google an agreed amount when someone clicks on an ad. In this case, the someone is the person searching for that product or service that the advertiser bracket seller is trying to sell. So in simple terms, whenever you search something, a product or a service that you are interested in, you click on one of those ads. Whichever brand, whichever seller, whichever advertiser has put that ad up, the minute you click on that, that advertiser pays Google a certain amount which is agreed upon between the advertiser and Google. So we'll try and understand all this entire ecosystem, because right now we are trying to learn to be that person who's going to sell our product and service on Google to the right buyers. So let's see how this works. Let's see how the entire bid ecosystem works. So let's say, for example, we want to bid for a keyword which is red Nike shoes, correct? Red Nike shoes is the keyword that we all are looking for. There are about 5, 6, 7, you can see people who are trying to use this keyword and get customers to sell their product and service. And it is very possible because there are billions of people searching for your product and services. That means there are many, many, many people trying to sell the same product and service. And all of these people are using Google platform like you will be doing very, very soon. So there are about 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people who are trying to sell their product and service. In this case, being red Nike shoes. They know somebody is searching for red Nike shoes. So they have put a keyword in their ads account as red Nike shoes. Now let's take an example of about 4 people. So in this case, there were 4 advertisers. These could all be different people who are trying to sell Nike shoes, especially red Nike shoes, right? So the first person says, I am willing to pay 25 bucks when someone searches for red Nike shoes, clicks on my ad. Similarly, there's somebody else who says, I'm willing to pay 30. There's a third one who pays 35, and there's a fourth one who's willing to pay 40. Now, this depends on a lot of factors. How much can a particular advertiser spend? What is his intention? How much margin, how much budget does this particular person have? And that's how you come up with a particular bid that you can put on a particular keyword. So in this case, there are 4 people starting from 25, then to 30, finally 35, and at the last 40. Now, earlier, when there was no ecosystem as such, when Google was all in its initial days, what did Google primarily do is, it started with an auction. Now, how this auction worked is, whoever bid the highest would get the first place in the Google search term. Now, we've all realized that whenever we search for something, there are a couple of ads that show up. But 90% of us would always click on the first, second, or the third ad, max to max the fourth ad. We will never go at the bottom of the page and never in our life go to the second, third, fourth page unless we are heavily into researching something. But most probably, whenever we are trying to buy a product and service, we usually pick the first couple of ads, correct? So who wants to be in that particular position was determined by how much you are willing to pay for that particular position. So let's say, for example, in our same example, the person who was willing to pay 40 bucks per click to Google got the first position. So you could see the first ad by this particular advertiser. And whenever somebody would click, this person would pay 40 bucks to Google, was willing to pay 40 bucks to Google. Then the second position was the person who came second or who bid the second highest, which was 35, then 30. And similarly, the person who was willing to pay just 25 bucks on red Nike shoes for their ads to show up got the fourth position. Now, what happened in this was a lot of people who were not really good as a brand, who did not have a very good website, a lot of other factors, and as a matter of fact, even someone who was not really selling red Nike shoes, must be selling a red Adidas or something else, etc., would also bid on that particular term and then get a rank and then get a click and then come and then have people come to the website. Now, what happened because of this was when I am a person who clicks on an ad and goes to a website, I want to see the product that I was looking for. Because of this exercise, lot of times I would not see the product that I was looking for and I would go away from the website. Now, this would reduce my experience, the quality of my experience when operating Google. And Google, who's a pioneer in this space, who's someone who has a monopoly when it comes to search, wanted to safeguard this. And what it did was, my apologies. Now, what Google did was, it thought of coming up with a system which talked about quality score. Now, what is a quality score? What comprises of a quality score is something that I will take up in a couple of slides later. Let's first understand very casually what a quality or a quality score is. Now, think about the searches that you have made in the past couple of days. Now, tell me, in all those searches, have you ever clicked on something and went to the website which is completely not related to what you were searching for? That is hardly the case. Only in 1% of the cases, something like this will happen with you. Otherwise, whatever you are looking for, you will exactly go to that place, to the website selling that particular product or service. That's always been the case. This is because Google ensures that there is a quality that has been maintained. That's why what Google did is it came up with a quality score. This is something which was measured from 10. So you get a quality score from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 10 out of 10. Continuing with the same example, let's assume and let's take an example that the person who was at the first position, this person was willing to pay 40 bucks, which is too much, to come up to the first position. Whenever you search for red Nike shoes, this person's ad would always show first. But due to some or the other quality reason, the quality score out of 10 for this first person was 5. For the second person had a slightly better quality, and that's why the quality score was 6. Similarly, 8 for the third person and 10 for the fourth person. Now, basically what this means is the fourth person had a very good quality. He was redirecting the people after the click to the right place, to the place where they would actually get what they were looking for. So what Google did is it multiplied the bid and the quality score to come up with a system called a rank. So let's see this. If you multiply 40 by 5, you get a rank of 200. So the first advertiser in the earlier system who was showing on first position, who was paying the highest, got an ad rank of 200. The second person who was actually second in position because of the high bid But because of the quality score, the ad rank was 210, 3 and 4. So you can see our fourth advertiser who was just paying 25 bucks with a quality score of 10 got an ad rank of 250. Now what Google said, any person who had the highest ad rank would get the first position. So our fourth advertiser was who was just paying 25 bucks for every click is now actually showing in the first position as compared to earlier when the person who was paying the highest, irrespective of the quality, was at the first position. So now if you can see, because of the factor of ad rank when quality score came into the picture, the fourth advertiser who was the least bid and highest quality score got the first rank. The person with the next best quality score, which was 8, got the second rank, third, and fourth. So on and so forth. So basically, now what has happened is the position has completely reversed. This is because of the quality score. Now let's understand now what Google means when it talks about the quality score. What Google is trying to achieve is whoever is searching for a product or service that they want, Google wants to give them the best experience, and that's how they can maintain the monopoly that they have. That's how they can maintain that 70% of all the searches happening on the internet happen on Google. This is because of the quality that Google gives you. So the first quality score benchmark, and again, these benchmarks are not written in stone or don't have a perfect measure. This is something that we've learned with past years of experience, from learning from experience, from seeing how things are improving if we make a change in a particular aspect. So the first thing that talks about quality score is expected clicks. Now, what is an expected click? Let's say, for example, you started running Google Ads on a particular keyword, like the example that we had, red Nike shoe. Somebody clicked on your ad and went to your website. Somebody else did the same search, clicked on your ad and went to the website. And this kept on happening again and again and again. Now, because this keeps happening again and again, Google realizes that this ad, this click is really relevant to the keyword that somebody is searching for, and for that matter, to the product and service they are looking for. And because of that, Google gives a higher quality score to a person whose expected clicks tend to be higher. Now, again, there is no measure to this particular thing. All these things happen in the backend. However, based on experience, based on what Google gives out from time to time with respect to the updates, we understand that the more relevant your ad is to your search term, to the thing the person is searching for, higher your quality score. The second, like I was saying, is ad relevance. Now, when somebody is clicking on that ad and increasing the number of clicks, that is because the ad has to be relevant to what the person is searching for. So, couple of things when it comes to being relevant is first is to have that particular keyword in your ad. When we will learn keywords and when we will learn ads, we will learn how to use this power, how to use this algorithm to ensure that our ads always come in a higher position, not because of the bits, but because of the quality score. So, like I was saying, what is ad relevance? Ad relevance is when your ad is relevant to the thing that the person is searching for. When it comes to red Nike shoe, the ad should talk about red Nike shoe and not just keep saying red Nike shoe, red Nike shoe, red Nike shoe, red Nike shoe. It should give the person more and more information. Let's say, for example, is he looking to buy a red Nike shoe? He should get information with respect to the fact that if it is a red Nike shoe, where can he purchase a red Nike shoe, how can he use it, and many other things. So whatever product or service, if you are giving more better, relevant information to the person searching for it, the higher your chances to get a better quality score. The third part is landing page relevance. Now, Google says that it does not want to stop at keyword and ad because that can be easily written and easily used. The real deal is when a person lands to a website. Because our intention when I type something on the internet is to go to a particular website, is to go to a particular web address. If I am not satisfied with that experience, I will not be willing to use Google. And Google does not want to risk that. And that is why not just your ad, but your website, your landing page also has to be relevant with the thing that the person is searching for. So if the search that we had was a red Nike shoe, It is pertinent that your landing page has details about red Nike shoe, how to use it, where can you get it, what is the price of that particular thing, whatever information that the person searching might consider relevant has to be there. The fourth thing is ease of navigation. Now, when we talk about the landing page or the website, it doesn't end there. When I come to the website, I need to be someone who can easily navigate to the website. There are not unnecessary pop-ups, no unnecessary redirect, because again, that experience that spoils experience of me as a person searching for a particular thing. And if my experience is bad, I will feel Google is bad, not the advertiser is bad. And that is why Google tends to ensure that ease of navigation is something which is happening. There are not a lot of pop-ups. You are not being, the page is mobile friendly. Even if I'm using it on a mobile, I can view it conveniently. All these factors are something that is also been taken into account. And finally, on-site time and load speed. Now, if I come to a website of a product or service that I want to buy, it's very obvious that I'm going to spend some time on that particular website, correct? So that's what Google checks. If it is completely irrelevant, I will just look at it, I'll find it irrelevant, and I'll move out. So that's called a bounce. So I bounce out of the website. However, if it is relevant, I will stick on the website, and that is what Google is trying to check. If the on-site time, the time I've spent on the website looking at the product, scrolling up and down, if there are images, I'm looking at the images. If there are some text that I need to read, I'll scroll up and read those particular text. If there are shipping information, all these things, how can I procure it? If I'm going through those information, I need to spend some time on the website. And if I do that, and if I spend time, means it is relevant. That is what Google is looking for. And finally is the load speed. Because again, it talks about experience. Let's say, for example, if I click on an ad and I try to get on a website, but the website is not an HTTPS website, or for some any other reason, the website is not loading properly, it spoils my experience, which directly comes down to Google. And I don't want to spoil my experience with Google. This is what Google feels. And that's why it also checks if your website is loading properly. So whenever in the future, when we talk about quality score and the fact that we need to improve upon the quality score, these are the 5 things that you need to focus and work on. The first is the expected clicks. You cannot control that, but as relevant, as necessary, as important, if you can create it, it will increase the expectation of the clicks. The second is ad relevance. That is what we will learn while we were writing, and we will learning ad copies, how to create relevant ad copies. Landing page experience, you need to ensure that your landing page is about the particular thing that they are searching for, has information about it, is relevant, all those factors. Ease of navigations, like I said, no unnecessary pop-up, no redirecting links, etc. And finally, how much time somebody spends. Again, like I said, if the website is relevant, there will be time spent on the website. And the load speed, that is when we need to check if the website is registered with an HTTPS. All of the factors are in place. So this is quality score. So taking a step back. So now understand this. The person who was bidding 40 bucks for a particular keyword had a quality score of 5. So he was failing in one of these aspects. Like I said, quality score is a factor of out of 10. So out of 10, this person had 5, which is just 50%. So whatever you are seeing here, maybe he's just done 50% of this. And that's why he got an ad rank of 200 and a position of 4, even if he was willing to pay the highest amount for that particular keyword. But because he did not have his website set straight, did not have relevancy in his ad or any of these factors, because of that, he got 4th position despite being one of the person who's paying the highest. Conversely, if you see at the bottom, the person who's willing to pay 25 worked a lot on his website and is very relevant with respect to his ads, the website, his landing page is nicely done, all these things, and is 100% relevant. Because of that, he's got a quality score of 10. And if you see, he's got an ad rank of 250, which brings him to number 1 position. All right, friends. So this was pretty much about how something works. Now, here in this case, you don't really have to determine or work or calculate these every time you do this. Everything happens in the back end. But there is a way that you can do. Like, for example, if I am advertiser 2, I am bidding 35 and my quality score is 6 and I'm getting an ad rank of 210 and my position is 3. So basis this information that I have, quality score is something that Google shows us on the dashboard. Bid is something that we know about. So we will be able to determine a rank that we have and an average rank that we would have and where we are in with respect to position. Let's say if I am advertiser 2, my position is 3. Now, if I have to get from number 3 to 2, I need about 30 points in my ad rank. Again, you don't have to calculate this. You don't have to do this. Everything happens in the back end. But if you want to move from position 3 to position 2, you know there are two things that you need to work on. You need to either improve your quality score for your keywords or increase the bid of your keywords. Correct? So let's say, for example, if I do not have the time, resources, knowledge, expertise to work on the quality score, if I increase my bids to 50, so instead of 35, my bids are 50. So 5, 6 are 30, 300. So my rank becomes 300, which is 50 more than my first position at the bottom here. Because of that, because here it becomes 300, my rank is going to be 1 only because I bid 50. However, I will end up paying much more than anybody else's. And that would be over the years, over the long term, is going to be a loss for me. So that's why it's important to focus on quality score. Again, like I said, you don't need to do this calculation. I am telling you about this so that when you look at an interface like that, you know what your next step should be. Either focus on quality score, second is focus on bid, or step by step focus on both while improving the quality score, increase your bids, and as and when your quality score increases, keep reducing your bids. And that's how you can get your number 1 position when it comes to Google search. All right. Now we've understood what is a bid, what is a quality score, how everything is calculated. We've understood how you can get to one of the top 4 positions. Let's understand how are your ads priced. Now here there is a very, very important disclaimer that you need to be 100% aware of. This calculation is something that you will never have to do in your life. As a matter of fact, even when this happens, you will not be aware because all these happens by Google in the backend. You will never be someone who will be in the front end of all these things. Why am I teaching you this? Is because one, it's very important to learn how the algorithm of Google Ads works. It's very, very crucial to understand that particular thing. If you know an algorithm of a particular distribution channel, you will be the master of that particular distribution channel. And that's why you need to know this. And second is, it's a very good to have information. Trust me, I am doing Google Ads for the past 8 years. I've spoken to so many people. I have had managers, I have had colleagues, I have had students. Nobody knows what and how are you priced for a single ad. Nobody would know this calculation. So once you learn this calculation, you will be among those fun 1%. 1% Google Ads expert who will actually know how are you priced for every keyword or every position or every click that has been happening. So let's understand. There is a very simple formula that Google has stated out. The formula is ad rank of the advertiser below you. So if you are on position 1, the rank of the person below you divided by your quality score plus 0.01. I'll also tell you why Google is taking this entire exercise. But again, before getting into this, again a disclaimer, you don't have to by heart this. You will never ever have to do this in your life because this happens in the backend by Google itself. You won't even know what is the actual calculation numbers, etc. Right. So the first thing is ad rank of the person below you as in with respect to the position below you, divided by your quality score plus 0.01. So in our existing example, let's take it from the bottom. Let's assume we are at position 1. We are advertiser 4, whose bid is 25, whose quality score is 10, whose rank is 250, and is position 1. Now, this advertiser said, hey Google, I'm willing to pay 25 bucks when somebody clicks on an ad on this particular keyword, which is still the red Nike shoe keyword, right? I'm willing to pay 25. Now you want to understand how much does Google actually take. Google will not take 25 bucks from you. Google will take something less. This is the calculation that we saw earlier. So if you can see at the bottom right of the screen, so the formula was ad rank of the person below you. So I am position 1. So position 2 here is advertiser who's willing to pay 30 bucks. So add rank of this particular person, which is 240, divided by your quality score. So my quality score is 10 plus 0.01. So for each and every click, what I am paying is 24.01 and not 25. So it's almost a rupee less than what I was supposed to pay or what I had agreed to pay upon. So this is how your cloud. So there will be a lot of instances where you will see when you are actually running your ads and you've set a CPC bid, you are not actually charged at that amount. You will always be charged lower than what is expected. Because what Google is trying to say, what this formula means is, because you've worked so much on your quality score, and then you are coming up with a rank in the right position, Google is saying that I want to take only 0.01 more, 0.01 more than your previous advertiser. I don't want to take whatever you want to tell me. I just want 0.0 more from the person behind you who's paying from the price of the person behind you. Let's take this with the second example as well. Now we have our advertiser 3 who's willing to pay 30, has a quality score of 8 and a rank of 240 with a position 2. So what is the amount that this person will pay who's agreed to pay 30 bucks? So Google says ad rank of the person below you. So we'll see the ad rank of position 3 here, the one who's paying 35. So his ad rank is 210 divided by your quality score, which is 8 plus 0.01. So this comes to 26.26. This person, advertiser 3, said I am willing to pay 30 bucks for a click, whereas what he's actually paying is just 26.26 per click. This is what is the magic of Google Ads. It does not charge you whatever you are willing to pay. It only takes 0.01 more than your previous advertiser. So if you keep going on like this, you will see the person below you, behind you, behind you, behind you, and you can get this entire calculation. You will understand. So again, this is a good to know information. You will never have to calculate this. This is just because you should learn how the ecosystem is working. That's pretty much all about it. So now let's take a step further and let's understand what Google Ads is all about. To understand Google Ads, we'll take it step by step. The first thing that you need to understand very clearly is what is a Google Ad account structure. The first layer of a Google Ad account structure is the Google Ad account. Google Ad account is basically your business account on Google. If you are XYZ consultancy, ABC Realtors, anything, whatever your business name is, that is your Google Ad account, because you're going to learn, operate, and sell something on Google. And that's why that is your Google Ad account. It's pretty much like your bank account, because you want to take money, deposit money, transfer money, take a loan, etc. You have an account where you can do all these things. Similarly with Google, so once you have an account, you can do all the activities which Google allows you to do. And that's why the first layer is a Google Ad account. Within a Google Ad account, the next layer is a campaign. Now, within one ad account, then can be unlimited number of campaigns. I think the maximum limit is about 200, but I don't think we've still, like, that's the most that we could have gone up to, which we were experimenting one time in the past. But it's safe to assume that it's unlimited. You can create n number of campaigns within one account. Now, what is a campaign? A campaign is basically a strategy. When I say a strategy, let's say for example, and I am using this one example because I believe it is the most common to all the people who are trying to sell a product and service. Now, all you guys have different product and services. One might not understand the uses, the advantages of a product, another product or service. And that's why I take this example of a 2 BHK home, because a house is something that we all understand, we all live in. And once we understand that, I think using that example will help you understand the concepts of Google the most. So that's why I'm going to take this example. Let's say I am someone who's a realtor who's willing to sell 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 1 BHK, and a bungalow. I have all these things that I can sell. So my campaigns can be my strategies. So one strategy could be that one campaign is solely focused on 1 BHK. Second campaign is solely focused on 2 BHK, the third one on 3 BHK, and one on a bungalow. Because that's what all I want. I want these segregated, because this is how separately I can operate and optimize these things. Second is, maybe let's say I have all these in one single apartment in Mumbai, And I have another complex coming up in Pune, which also has a 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, and a bungalow. So I have one in Mumbai, one in Pune. So these could be my strategies that I want to focus one entire campaign only on Mumbai, and I want to focus the other campaign entirely in Pune. Even that is something that can be worked out. So campaign is basically your strategy. There are numerous ways which we will learn as well in the future in the next coming lectures. How you can create a campaign. There are n number of ways that you can do it. For now, it is important to understand your campaign is basically your strategy. The next layer within a campaign comes an ad group. Okay, I just skipped a one step. So let's take one step back. A campaign has some information which you need to put in, which is your budget, your bids, your location, and all the major campaign settings, which we will learn when we actually walk through it. So basically, campaign decides all things. Things like what is the start date and the end date of a campaign. Things like what is your budget for that particular campaign, your daily budget. Things like which location you want to run these ads. Things like what other major settings like for example, what are the strategies you're using, what bid strategies, etc., etc., etc. Correct? That is your campaign. Within a campaign, there are ad groups. And like I said, for campaigns, you can create n number of ad groups within one campaign. So let's understand what is a ad group. An ad group is basically a container of similar ads and keywords. Whenever you use Google Ads, you will always try to keep a sync between your ads and your keywords. And that's why, because they are in sync, they are always placed in one individual container. These containers are called ad groups. Now, how we decide this, how we structure this, how we use this is something that we will learn throughout the course. But for now, it is very important to understand an ad group is just a container that holds your ads and your keywords. And usually in one container, there are only similar ads and keywords, correct? Let's see what are ads. Ads, I'm pretty sure that you must be aware. Something that you search on the internet and you get an ad, you click on it and you will land on a particular website. That's an ad. An ad is basically talks about what the website is going to be about, talks about what the product and service that you're looking for is going to be about. That's ad. An ad gives you an information, a detailed information about what you're looking for. And keyword, like we discussed before, for a person who's searching for something is a search term. For a person who's trying to sell something, it's called a keyword. A keyword is something that you will use to target that person who you want to sell a product or service. Let me repeat myself. A keyword is something that you will use to target someone who wants to purchase your product and service. Now, what we will do is we'll look at all this. However, we will take it from the bottom. We're going to start with keywords first, then understand what are ads. Ad group is basically a container, so we will learn how to create those containers, how to create those relevant ad groups. And then finally, we will move to the campaign, which is we will learn those campaign settings. In the meanwhile, we will also learn something which is called a bid, because while we set a campaign, bids are something that we have to put, we have to assign to each and every keyword. How we do that, what we do about with it is something that you will learn in the courses to come. Thank you so much.